My name is Angela Frazier. I am from Queens, New York. My official job title is Peer Services Coordinator. I supervise a team of 10 Certified Recovery Peer Advocates. Certified Recovery Peer Advocate is a person that provides recovery support for people who have substance use disorder and maybe mild mental health. We help them, we provide informational support, affiliative, instrumental, and emotional support. I actually got into peer work because I have some of my own story of battling with substance use disorder, and somebody helped me, and I found that it's my passion and it's my purpose, and I'm really good at it. So that's why I went into it, because I really believe that I could save the world. People who are in recovery, when they say they're in recovery, I'm only there, and the team is only there to help an individual navigate to where they want to go. We're not there to tell you what to do. We just help you bring it to fruition and say it yourself and then make it your own. You can grow here. You can be you here.
My full name is Kyle Guzman. I'm originally from Long Island. My job title at CRW is Peer Navigator. I have a caseload, a few caseloads. I have an off-site caseload at the shelters. I have an inpatient caseload at Broadside. And then I have a reintegration or like an outpatient caseload. And basically I support them in any way they may deem fit. I share my lived experience from where I was a couple years back, and help them to navigate their own process. Because you have to understand what they may be going through. You have to think back to, okay, I went through that situation, that's how I felt. This is how I would have wanted someone to maybe handle that situation for me. We all have that lived experience, so we all kind of get each other. There's like a camaraderie that we share being on the other side. So we kind of get what we all might be going through with our caseloads. Or even in our own personal processes. You know, because at the end of the day, I'm in recovery too. Just because I show up and I'm a peer navigator for them, I clock out and I still have a whole sober process of my own.
My name is Siobhan Emery, and I'm from Brooklyn, New York. When I engage with clients, it's just, it's shared. I share my lived experience, and I help them navigate along the way. I'm actually an alumni. So I was here 6 years ago. I did my treatment process here, and that's when I thought about coming into this field. I wanted to help someone like someone helped me. I think one of the most important skills is motivational interviewing. So that's when you're asking someone something and you're letting them answer for themselves. So I don't push anyone to do anything. I don't, I'm not their sponsor, I'm not their counselor, but I'm their peer. So I've lived, somewhere in their shoes, or I've done or been where they are, and so I just let them know from my lived experience where they can go. I find it very exciting to see people go through their process and get through it. So some people just don't think that, so like I didn't think, right, that recovery was real at one point in my life, right? I didn't think I can get to the other side, I came to Education Alliance, 6 months in, I completed, and I'm still clean. Seeing people go through their different processes, whether they have a slip or not, some things, it's not everything that's 100%, or, everything's not excellent in recovery. But what is possible is you don't have to use ever again.
My full name is Keithy Lawrence, and I am originally from Red Bank, New Jersey. I am the Director of Recovery Services here at CRW, Center for Recovery and Wellness, and I supervise a team of recovery coaches that provide services both in CRW and in the community. Inpatient, outpatient, we are integrated into prevention, doing outreach. We're also in the community where we work with various different partners in the courts, RWA, the shelter system, hospitals. Yeah, so they do a lot of work. They they help people move forward in life. I was a client here back in 2009. I came in, residential services. And even before that, even when I was in prison, I noticed that I was able to facilitate, get people to listen, and I liked the feeling of helping people move forward. Didn't totally pursue when I got home, still was just kind of knocking around. And I think the final nail in the coffin for me was when I had to go back into residential for a violation with parole. And I came here. Life is rewarding. You know, you don't get a job that you like to go to too often, but I can honestly say I love my job. You know, I like helping people. This is how I want to be remembered. You know, this is the second half of the game. I used to tell them that all the time in the house meeting, so this is nothing new. I would tell them, listen, this is how I want to be remembered. Then I would ask them, how you want to be remembered? And I would just leave them with that thought.
Marion Maxwell. I'm originally from New Jersey. I was hired as a SERPA, peer navigator, but I'm also a recovery coach. My job changed since I started working here, and I also monitor the food pantry, which is done on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I also I facilitate the Narcotics Anonymous meetings that are here on Wednesdays and Fridays. I do the Recovery Club here on Saturdays. So I do, a few things. But it's all about the clients. We call them recoveries because we're peers. Assisting the clients, whatever issues they have, and putting them on their road to recovery. It's because I'm in recovery as well. They really identify with someone like me. But I tell them, you can learn something from anybody, whether they've been where you're at or not. You can always learn something from anybody. So don't ever be closed. Always be open to learning. It's more rewarding to work as a SERPA. As a case manager on my other job, you're kind of limited to what you could do, right? But with a peer, like I could talk directly to the clients, and it's just different. It's non-clinical, And it's like one recovering addict to another recovering addict. So it's different, But you have to just be mindful that everybody's not the same, and everybody's not going to get to the same place at the same time. I guess I'm always working, because someone will come up to me and say, hey, don't you work at such and such a place? Yes. I'm trying to get in there, what do I need to do? Or they might be using and they're ready to go to detox, So I'll call somebody that I know who's a driver for a facility, come and pick them up. Sometimes they might not have insurance, or sometimes they might not have ID, And I know facilities that take people with no insurance and no ID, And if they're really sincere about going, they go, And it's good because you might see them later on, and, they thank you. Yeah, so we're always working, You're always working.
My first name is Stacy, my last name is Bennett. I'm from Brooklyn. I meet the recoveries where they're at in their process of recovery. I empower, encourage, strengthen. I just meet them, I just assist them in their recovery process. It's only as challenging as you make it. They want to have you do the work for them. And you want to do it, because that's what you're here for. You like to help and assist, but you can't. You have to let them work their own process.
Okay, well, my name is Troy Bowes, and I'm originally from East Orange, New Jersey. I've been residing now in Brooklyn for the past 20 years. My background is I'm in long-term recovery. I come from a background of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. 8 years ago in my recovery process, when I decided to put down the drugs, I remembered that I had a gift. and that was the gift of music. I play basically all the instruments, and I actually have all the instruments: keyboards, bass guitar, electric guitar, drum sets, and when I got into the field of providing support for individuals like myself with the substance abuse, mental health, recidivism, homelessness, I found out that in that population of folk, there were some really, really talented individuals like myself, who also were into music, poetry, dance, art. When I became a SERP is a Certified Recovery Peer Advocate, and what that just simply means is that I provide support to individuals, meeting them where they're at, helping them achieve their goals based on my lived experience and identification with their situation. I always remember this about myself and about my disease, is that it's threefold. It's mental, physical, and it's spiritual. And I always try to mentor to my recoveries that, we deal with the physical part when we're detoxing. We get the medications to detox out. Then we deal with the mental part when we're in long-term treatment. We get to find out about ourselves, how we're built, and we start to remember some of the things that we used to know how to do. And then the spiritual part is me. What do I do now that I'm not using, now that I'm in my right state of mind, and I have these talents that I guess, now what do I do with that? Well, I begin to feed my soul. I begin to feed my soul. And when I'm feeding my soul, I'm feeding other people's soul around me, and then they're feeding my soul from their soul. And it just keeps going out, and it reminds me of, there's a higher power.